Bernard for typing the certificates and the program. I would like to thank the NCCS maintenance and custodial staff for the help with our fields. And many thanks go out to our coaches for all of their time and efforts with the spring teams. Our track teams had large numbers, and many athletes were able to set personal records in the events in which they participated. 2 had school records this year, and 1 athlete qualified for the state championship meet on Friday. Our softball team were co-champions in the CDAC, and they also won a Section 7 championship in Class B. And the other softball teams were very successful as well. It's been another great season for our spring teams. Many successes here and with our teams in the first session as well. 91 athletes earned high honors this spring while participating, so congratulations to all of you for your athletic and academic accomplishments. When I call your team down front, please stand here near the stage. I'll also ask that everyone be quiet while the coaches and athletes are speaking. At this time, I would like to call down Jordan Clark, Amanda Goodfellow, and Jimmy Traum. These athletes have earned the White Letter N Award. This is given to an NCCS athlete that has earned a letter in 3 varsity sports in the same year. They started playing in the middle of August, and they continued right until June. It's a difficult task and a great accomplishment. The letter comes with 3 small insignias that should be sewn onto the letter. Earning the White Letter N Award for this is their first time. Jordan Clark, soccer, basketball, softball. Amanda Goodfellow, cross country, volleyball, track. And Jimmy Traum was soccer, cheerleading, and track. Congratulations to all of you. Now I'd like to ask the boys track team to come down front.
Wow, there's a lot.
Casey Ashfield. Nick Blake. James Cruz. McLean Dunbar. James Frankie. Bryant Lopez. Alex Bernard. Niall Manette. Mike Noggle. Jared Pilardi. Dylan Roberts. David Warner. Kyle Chambers. Bobby Grimm. Jeff Horn. Owen LaBarge. Derek Norton. Turner Cecina. Jimmy Traum. Mike Brassard. Jonathan Kupel. Daniel Frankie. Patrick Holmes. James Kelly. Casey McGibbon. John Strecker. Brett Tatro. Carl Bayshard. Connor Herdick. Josh LaFave. Gerald Marks. Mark Fuster. Chad Pichet. Manager Corey Slater. Special recognition goes to 21 members of the boys track and field team who qualified for the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Team Award. To receive this award, the student must be an eligible varsity competitor whose grade point average is used to determine the team composite grade point average of at least 90%, with additional students that have a grade point average of 90% or greater. Each athlete earning this award will receive a pin. It's been a long 2 nights, which I've already put inside their packet just to save a little time. But I will read their names right now and ask them to take a step forward. Nick Blaze, Mike Brasser, Kyle Chambers, John Coopell, James Cruz, McLean Dunbar, Daniel Frankie, James Frankie, Connor Herdick, Jeff Horn, Owen LaBarge, Bryant Lopez, Gerald Marks, Casey McGibbon, Alex Menard, Niall Manette, Mike Noggle, Jared Flaherty, Chad Pichet, John Strecker, David Warner. Congratulations. Please welcome our boys track and field team and coaches Engelbrecht and Ross.
Everyone here tonight on the boys track team is to be commended on going through what I thought was a very hard year. We had a typical North Country spring, which means it was very wet, it was very windy, it was very cold. And it took a lot to go to practice every day and to go out and run with sore muscles, sore tendons, and to do as well as you've done. Thank you very much for doing that. We don't have time to talk about all of our athletes, but I wanted to talk about a few of our seniors, the ones that I had the most contact with. And that would be starting with Nick Blaze, who was our discus leader. Nick had a leadership position, and he helped develop drills and technique and training the other guys. And I really appreciate what he did for us. He showed good improvement in both the discus and the shot. The other person I want to thank is Dylan Roberts, who was our MVP for the field events. Dylan got 3rd in the sectionals throwing the shot, and he got 5th in throwing the discus. And he improved a great deal. He went from throwing 90-some feet last year to throwing almost 130 feet this year. So practically a 40-foot improvement. Also, I'd like to thank Bryant Lopez, who was our shot put leader. Bryant also helped develop drills and helped the team a great deal. Bryant was very consistent in throwing both the shot and the discus, and he collected a lot of pink ribbons, it seemed, for a shot put. I don't know why they like pink ribbons so much. And the last guy we want to talk about is Turner Cecina, who showed the most dramatic improvement of all the throws. One day, Turner was throwing about 90 feet in the discus, and a couple of his teammates came up to me and said, Turner has finally learned how to throw the discus. And what that meant is he went from throwing 90 feet to 120 feet, pretty much in one day when he got the technique right. So we wanted to congratulate him on that performance. But everybody's to be congratulated for finishing the season. And there were a lot of PRs, personal records set. I was coaching about a third of the kids, and Mr. Robertson had the bulk of the coaching. coached the hurdlers, he coached all the runners, the relay teams, the sprinters, and the triple and long jump. So he wants to say a few words. Thank you.
I'm going to just say that I had a great time coaching you guys. I really enjoyed watching you guys come to practice and working hard in practice, and I loved watching the meets, seeing you guys just lay everything out on the line and just give it your best. I really enjoyed that. There was a lot of highlights this season. I'm just going to start right in order with the events. Our 32 relay consisted of Mike Noggle, James Cruz, Alex Menard, Robbie Grimm. Did a great job this year. They broke 9 minutes, and I think that they placed third at the state qualifier. In the hurdles division, we had Gerald Marks, ran on 110 hurdles and the 400 hurdles. He did very well this season, qualified for the Van Dusen Invitational, and he improved every race. From the first race, he started out not making it over all the hurdles, and by the last race, he was doing excellent. So he improved quite a bit. In the 100 meters, we had Dave Warner, James Kelly, Jimmy Trong, Casey McGibbon, Mark Fuster, John Strecker, John Cuba, and Mike Brassard, who competed in that. And there were some great races. James Kelly showed some fabulous speed. Dave Warner ran 11.7, I think was his best. Casey McGibbon also improved through the season. John Strecker worked really hard and had a PR a couple times through the season. Moving on to the 16, Bobby Grimm ran all of his races between the time of 4:56 and 5:09, I believe, in that range. So he was right around that 5-minute barrier in 1600, but he just ran hard every single race, which was really fun to watch. He would go out, get in that lead pack, and push it all the way through to the end. Moving on, James Cruz also ran the 1600 for a warm-up into the mile, and he ran a PR and still ran the 32 really well after that. Connor Herdick had a great race in Beekmantown. He came down to the wire and outkicked the guy for the win. Chad Fuchsia ran a PR at Plattsburgh, did really well there. Mike Brassard, throughout the season, was starting as a sprinter, and then we moved him over to the mile, and he knocked off, in 2 races, he knocked off 45 seconds, so that was a big improvement. And if he had run that all year, the mile all year, he was at under 6, but he was really close. So that was really nice to see. In our 400 relay, we had John Strecker, Jimmy Trong, Dave Warner, Casey McGibbon, Carl Bayshard, and Owen Barge rotating in on that. And they had some good races. Casey McGibbon, I was really impressed with how well he ran the curves. So that was nice to watch. John Strecker really improved this year with the handoffs and with his starts. He really showed a great deal of hard work and dedication. In the 400 meters, we had Mike Noggle, who ran really well, ran a 55. Alex Menard ran in the state qualifier. And never fails, just like practice. Nice to have you, Jimmy. So we had some good times in the 400 also. Jeff Horn, which I have to really say, really impressed me a lot. He is injured the whole season and ran, I think, probably 3 races. And he ran a 57 or 58 in the 400 after not being able to run in practice. Every time you come to practice and you'd always try to work hard, I would always see him out running, and I'd have to go and get him and say, look, Jeff, you're injured, you can't run. And then the next thing I know, I turn around and he's out running again. But I like that enthusiasm, and good luck in the future. We had some highlights in the 800. Mike Noggle placed third at the state qualifier, running a very good time, 2:04, and he's in the race. He ran that race to win instead of running for a time. He ran out there, took the lead at 200 meters, came along to the last home stretch, and he's still in the race. So it was really fun to watch. And Connor Herdick, also in the 800, did very well at the sectionals. He won his heat. And then just, I guess the last, we had the 3200, which James Cruz, Dan Frankie, and John Kupau ran throughout the season. They did very well. I guess what we'll do now is get into the award. The first award, most improved for track and field. This student, this athlete, did very well this season. He ran out his first race, and he did very well with it. By the end of the season, he knocked off over, let's see, about 50 seconds, and improved a great deal in the 32, and that goes out to James Cruz. The 32. The MVP for this season goes out to someone who worked really hard this year. He came out with goals. He came out, he knew what he wanted to accomplish. He came to practice and worked hard every single day. And I think he had a very successful season, and he probably will have many more to come. He was a workhorse. He ran 4 events every single week, and he was definitely gave it everything to this season, in this track season. And that goes out to Mike Noggle.
When I first started running, I never imagined I would be where I am today. At first I was pleased with just finishing the race. Then I was pleased if I passed one runner. This all led to the desire to pass more runners, which eventually led to the desire to lead the pack. I am here to tell everyone that anything is possible. My father always told me that if I could stay with any runner, no matter how challenging the task. I listened. I learned to work harder, to be more determined, and to run faster. Little by little, I realized I could stay with the fastest runners. I could lead the pack. I could set school records. I now leave these dreams to the younger team members and to my little sister. Our Cougar track team wants to thank everyone for all they have done for us. Thanks to our friends and families for their support, their encouragement, and their friendship. Thanks to all our coaches for being there through the injuries, the horrible North Country weather, the ups and the downs. Your dedication is honorable. In closing, I say to you, when you feel so exhausted that you want to quit and walk, when you feel so tired that you can hardly lift your legs, when you are so winded that you feel your lungs will burst, when you are so discouraged that the finish line seems miles away, remember that the person who chooses to fight through these battles always claims victory. They have the guts that can never be beat. Thank you.
McLean, would you stay right there? And Jessica Bayshard, would you come down front, please? The CDAC All Academic Award is presented to 2 seniors in recognition of their contribution to and achievement in sport, as well as their success in academics. And for the spring season, 2006, the first one goes to Jessica Bayshard from the girls track and field team. And the other one goes to McLean Dunbar from the boys track and field team. I've sent their pictures in a small write-up, and that'll go in the Press Republican sometime in the future. Congratulations to both of you. I'm going to change the order slightly. Mrs. Lynch is on her way. So I'm going to ask the modified softball team to come up front. Cassandra McKay. Melinda Bayshard. Megan Boyer. Sadie Decoff. Jessica Favreau. Ashley Goyette. Ashley Lamberton. Jamie Melia. Alyssa Rabidou. Rachel Larfall. Courtney Bond. Megan Bowmill. Carrie Dominic. Katrina Guerin. Courtney Marks. Jessica Pelkey. Manager Erin Kay. Manager Nicole Marks. Manager Aaliyah McGoldrick. First team where everybody was here tonight. Please welcome the modified softball team and coach.
Good evening, and I would like to thank you all for taking time out of your hectic schedules to honor our athletes tonight. I would first like to thank Frankie and Tim for the innumerable number of man hours they put into maintaining our beautiful field. And I say man hours because I'm very often teased that my hand fits the rake just as well as theirs does. I don't know if people stop and thank these 2 men and their various assistants for creating a softball field which NCCS can be truly proud of. As always, Josie has done an amazing job with scheduling and rescheduling games and our officials, and I certainly appreciate all that she does for athletes and coaches. Our parents have supported us throughout the season, even traveling to Ticonderoga and Moriah. They have sat through a frigid doubleheader at Seton. All this with smiles on their faces. Although now that I think about it, between the girls and my own antics, they do have plenty to laugh about. And a special thanks goes to Mr. Dominic for his help during our batting practices. And finally, I would like to thank our community members who support our athletic program and understand the importance of being on a team. This year we entered our season with an overall record of 8-3, which is very commendable, and I was fortunate enough to have an outstanding group of young ladies to coach this year. Playing first base was Cassandra McKay, new to our school this year. Cassandra has a real love for the game and always a positive attitude. She is a great stretch and managed at home run for us this year. Sharing duty at first base was Cassandra Bond, another home run hitter, actually a multiple, Courtney Bond, I did it to her all year, and I suppose that's what happens when you were a teacher and have sisters. Sorry. Courtney Bond. Another home run hitter, actually a multiple home run hitter, and this goofball always has a smile on her face, and although she doesn't have fun, she always gives 100%. Catching was split between Jessica Favreau and Carrie Dominic. Both girls made tremendous improvements behind the plate over the season. These two girls were placed in the position that I consider to be most difficult, and they never complained. In fact, they were a coach's dream, always trying their absolute best and focusing on the game and task at hand. Three players played second base. Ashley Goyette, who is picture perfect as a batter. Ashley also spent some time on the mound with us, and she's developing into quite a nice pitcher. Megan Ware made outstanding plays at second base for us, and Jessica Pelkey always amazed me how tough she was. She would get hit with a ball going 50 miles an hour and not even flinch. My shortstops were 8 years Alyssa Rabideau and Ashley Lamberton. Both girls did a great job batting and each had home runs for us this year. Both girls did a great job keeping the ball in front of them. The ball didn't actually always make it to the plate that we were trying to, but they all stopped the ball in front of them. They were great leaders in our infield, and Alyssa is always looking to improve her game and is always giving 110%. Ashley often reminds me that it is just a game and that I shouldn't lose any sleep over it, and that I shouldn't take things so seriously. Third base was occupied by 7th graders Megan Bowman and Rachel Barcombe. Megan is the quiet type who just goes with the flow. She is a solid player with a great arm. Rachel will tell you anything on her mind at any time, whether concerning softball or not. She is full of energy, and she's her own toughest critic. She always tries to do her best, not only for herself, but for her team. My outfield is manned by Courtney Marks, who has a great arm and is improving every day as a batter. When she connects with the ball, there's no messing around. Team Amelia was a wonderful addition to our team this year, and she will be missed next year. She was also always looking to improve as a player and wasn't afraid to ask questions when she didn't quite understand something. Sadie DeCoste was our veteran in the center field, and I have 100% confidence in Sadie's ability to catch balls and get on base when she's up to bat. She has a great arm, and she took charge in the outfield. Melinda Bayshard spent time all over the season, catching, pitching, outfield, and I think she even played second base during one game. I'm sure Melinda has heard this all of her life, but gosh, she really is stronger than people really give her credit for her size. Her batting is great, she's fast, and she can stop balls. She is really a very well-rounded athlete. Katrina Guerin spent each game on the mound for us, and she is extremely consistent and has great speed in her pitch. The program really has a solid pitcher in Katrina as she moves up. But what may be more impressive to me is her base running ability. I know that when Katrina gets to first base, she will make it home, and very often before the next batter even has a chance to hit. I really had a great season with my players, and we would like to thank our managers, Erin Kaye, Aaliyah McGoldrick, and Nikki Marks. We really appreciate all that you did for us this year. And now for my awards. And this year I chose co-MVPs, and each girl in her own right deserves this award. First, this player is a natural athlete who will have amazing success in all 3 sports she plays here at NCCS. Without her pitching, there's no way that we would have had as much success as we did this year. So my first MVP is Katrina Guerin. My final choice was made because this athlete makes the most amazing plays at times, like a running catch over her head and to her right, 10 feet behind her in left field, a position she never plays. She swings a strong bat and has perfect form when throwing, and even Miss McDonough says so. So my co-MVP this year is our shortstop, Ashley Lamberton. I just want to thank the girls for allowing me to remain young for at least a couple hours a day. And you are really a wonderful group of young ladies, and your parents are the reason you are proud the way you are, and I'd like to thank them too. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight. I would like to thank the Stanfield for teaching us the fundamentals of softball and for all your time and dedication for coaching us. Without your encouragement, we wouldn't have had such a successful season. Don't worry with Stanfield when you yell at us like a crazy woman. We know it's just constructive criticism. We had an awesome year with you, and we want you to know that you're not just our coach, our teacher, but our friend.
We have the JV softball team down front. Got everything written over there, Tim? Chelsea Marco. Sarah Hardigan. Morgan Harvey. Cheyenne Myatt. Nicole Smith. Melanie Barrier. Centella Valley. Martin Bye-Bye. Bree Folger. Mary Elizabeth Frankie. Taylor Kelsey. Aisha Loya. Danny Lynn Tierney. Allie Eversole. Manager Marianne Dewey. Please welcome the girls' JV softball team and coach.
Mrs. Gilroy had spoke, it's been a long 2 days. And yes, being around her 2 days is quite long. But we'll proceed on. As you saw my lovely smiling faces come up, that was pretty much sums up the whole season, was their attitudes and their smiling faces, which made it such a great job, or shouldn't use the word job, fun to be around this group. They ended up the year 12-3, pretty competitive JV league this year. They really held their own, set some solid goals at the beginning, because we had so many players that were infielders, not a lot of outfielders, not real deep any place. So very long, tough practices, lining people up at third, at short, at second, at first, and just doing the little things over and over and over again. And it paid off, because at the end of the year, we were really where we should be. And everybody improved. It made it easy for me the last 4 or 5 games down the stretch to sub. I could put people any place, and they took care of the job. Their hitting came such a long ways from those early days in March. And they just turned out to be just one great team. And they deserve a big round of applause for that. And they definitely kept their promise to their goal, because, you know, you don't set a lot of rules, you don't have to worry about too many problems. And, you know, I keep it pretty basic. You know, we do a lot of things over and over again. Make sure you show up for practice. When you're there for that hour and a half or 2 hours, you're mine. Then after that, you go back and do what you want. And they did that very well, and it paid off for them. I'd like to congratulate my fellow coaches. Coach Hanfield did a great job at that modified level. They all have a good time, and they also will learn how to be competitive. And that's very, very important in sports. Coach McDonough, I can't say enough about this gentleman. He puts his heart and soul into everything he does. He has turned that field out there into one of the top-notch fields in this section. The only place you can probably get better is if you go to Plastic State or those kind of state-of-the-art fields. But just for a little old softball field behind the local high school, tell you what, we got a lot to be proud of. That's because of that man over there. I know he's had a lot of help. He's organized everything. He spent enough of his own money, used a lot of his own equipment, tractors, rollers, rakes, you name it, and he puts a lot of hours in there. And I got a lot of respect for this gentleman. He loves his athletes. Sometimes you wonder what the heck he's doing coaching, but I'll tell you what, just look at his records and look at his sectional championships, and whatever he does right. And he used to be commended for that. Big round for Jimmy. Like I said, I had the honor of being the MC last night for the senior banquet, and was that say nice things about Josie. Well, I guess I got to do it again tonight. This woman does one heck of a job keeping us organized. She's great with communications, and this district would very sorely miss her when she decides to retire. To look at her lately, I'd say it's getting pretty close. But, you know, I love her, you know, I really. But anyway, thanks. I love her very much. Why don't we give her a little round of applause? I was very fortunate this year as a coach. I mean, I could just sit most of the time during games, and these girls could take control. I had such good support from parents, which is such a key today. Last night we got to listen to a young athlete back at Rice, maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, Josie. And her name was Morgan Valley. And all she's been through, she was like all-state Vermont and went on this Yukon to play basketball. She won the NCCS tournament 3 out of her 4 years in college. And there were so many other things she could have said that got her there, her youth, her basketball camps, her coaches, but she's thanked mom and dad, number one. And to me, you know, even at my young age, that's going to stick with me for a long time. She said there were, in the days, Dad was hard on her, but when he was hard on her, he was also giving her credit. And when she wasn't in the game, he was just as supportive then as if she was in the game. The thing that really got to me, I guess she was about ranked 12 in the United States when she got recruited to go to Yukon, and that's quite a program. And she got there, and the first year didn't get that whole lot of playing time. Well, Dad would go to every game. He'd drive 4 hours, and she'd sit the bench the whole game. He'd see her after the game, drive back home, and he went to work and never missed work. And this was the kind of support that girl got until she became a starter at UConn in the last couple of years. So that's why I thank all my parents for being supportive, because that is a huge part of a young athlete's success, is having the support of the parents. So please don't stop doing that. Northeastern has great athletes. Northeastern has great kids. Please support them. Very, very important. Starting right at that grasshopper level, put them through the Pee-wees, try to keep the pony going. I'm fortunate to have area people, Mr. Barcombe, Mr. Forey, Miss Kelsey, Mr. Kelsey, Mr. Tierney, people that are keeping this pony going, and I really appreciate that because it pays off. And you can see as you get to the next level, like when we played the other mechanic films, they you can tell, spend a little bit more time in the softball field than they do. But they play AAU softball like we do basketball, and it shows. But we're not that far behind them, and they're number 2 in the state. So hard work pays off, parental support is very important, and good things happen. Thank you to Miss Morris and her dad Clay for all their advice for our pitchers. Thanks to Calvin. Thanks to Gene Kelsey for helping me coach bases, and his wife Tammy for keeping the book when my manager had to work at the local place shopper. Jim Menard and all his staff for all their help maintaining the fields, which, believe me, they feel the same way about Mr. McDonough. He saves them a lot of money. And a big thanks to Jim Tierney. This guy has to put up with me in my bad days, my good days. I kind of lean on him a little bit. When he's going to hit fly balls, or you're going to run a pitching machine. Never says much. I finally got a little revenge this year. He was that father and he wasn't really happy with what the daughter had just done or something. He barked a little bit. And I just gave him a little reminder like he had to give me last year at PHS. He said, oh, yeah, sorry. So it works both ways. But this guy, I really appreciate the help, Jim. If you come up, I got a little something for you. And of course, a coach is only as good as his manager. Well, I got the queen. I've got Mary Ann. She's a very important asset to this team, believe me. When I bark at her, she not backs will bark back. She's a great manager. I mean, I could go on and on. A good scorekeeper, keeps track of everything. Quiet, takes care of everything. I'll say, I don't come over and say, well, Mary Ann, is this done for? Well, is it ready yet? Yes, for sure. It's funny to hear us argue, but I really love it. Keeps me in line, helps me remember. I don't know, I don't remember quite as well as I used to. So she said, well, when you get closer to my age, that's going to happen, and it's happened. Okay? A lot of times I forget things, she carries it out. She must think I walk kind of weird now, bad knees and everything, so she carries everything, takes my briefcase. So, I don't know. What are you, junior now? So you got one more year? You're going to stay with me, right? Never mind, most people. He'll find it. Finish out with me, one more year I can watch. All right? You heard it? I got it right. I have a little song for Mary Ann. She's fantastic. Okay, awards. That's kind of a private joke. We got a little private joke, but I was talking to love the line. Most improved, tough this year. Like I said, became very versatile. We do a lot of things different places. But this girl started off struggling with the bat a little bit. I try not to change their swings too much. I just try to make them do as many reps the way they do it. And usually you improve that way. So all I did was say like one little thing, open it up. And I don't even know if that did it or her confidence stepped up, but she started cranking the ball everywhere. Down the stretch, there was no more singles, there were a lot of doubles. I had her playing first base. I had a real good first baseman there, but she improved enough to get herself there where I could use this girl, other girls' talents other places, and improved all around. And this award, Most Improved Player, JV Softball, Champlain. My Most Valuable Player Award, I feel is most deserving. She did most of our pitching all year. Started off a little light with the bat, but at the end, she went about 7 to 8 in the batting order, and I could put her anywhere in the top 2, 3, 4 spot. and she took care of business. The final week of the season, we won 4 ball games in a row. She pitched, I believe, 4 days straight, and when it got down to the end of the season, I think we could play with anybody then. And a lot of it had to do with her, but again, it's a team affair. And, my most valuable player of JV softball was Chelsea Barkman. Thank you very much. Oh, one more thing. We had, like I said, that young lady last night that spoke, she was extremely nervous. So I got up and said a few things, made fun of the crowd and stuff, and kind of loosened her up. Now, I hope I loosened you up enough so you could put up with it, okay? I tried my hardest. He said he had it all written, but we were sitting over there, and I penned it, stopped, and everything, and I think so. But, thank you.
Good evening. Our team would like to thank a couple people tonight for their support for their team. We'd like to thank Ms. Gilroy, Marianne, our manager, Mr. Tierney, Mr. Morris, Ms. Morris, our parents and our fans, but most of all, Mr. Dumas, who had the rare ability to take everybody and make them happy even if we had the worst day. He taught us how to play the game with skill and thought. I feel I speak for the whole team when I say that playing for Mr. Dumas is a joy and privilege. We know people will be pleased to hear this season won't be forgotten. But anyways, great season, girls. We had a lot of fun, always laughing with each other and playing our hardest. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight.
Okay, girl.
Could we have the girls varsity softball team? Right? Maybe I should have a team.
Yeah. I guess a summer on.
Courtney Corday. Haley Colbert. Tiffany Lamberton. Darby Turner. Jordan Clark. Rachel Corey. Alex Forey. Jaylene Rabideau. Megan Bayshar. L'Oreal Bombardier. Danielle Tierney. Chelsea Barkle. Katie or Sarah Katie Hardigan. They needed one more game so we could get that full name in there. Nicole Smith. Manager Kelly Havalitis. Manager Megan Richards. Please welcome the varsity softball team and Coach McDonough.
Broke my glasses coming in. I borrowed these. My eyesight poor, my hearing's very good. Often when I run into a couple of friends, acquaintances, I'll hear one whisper to another, please don't ask him about his softball team. Sometimes I tend to go on and on.
Tonight I'm going to be very short. I'm going to save my thank yous for all the people that helped. I'm going to save you personally. Thank people. Not just because John Corey threatened me, but to be short. There are a dozen or so people that really helped the team this year and past years. However, there's one thank you that I feel I need to make in front of the team. A little while back, I jokingly told a player, whose name I won't mention, Queen, that in spoiling her, I had created a monster. Her retort immediately was, "You didn't create me." I do want all you parents who did create these kids to know how so very grateful. This is why it's going to be short. Hardly better. This. Something about being there. Grading these, I'll just read it. They're kind, witty, considerate, fearless. They're strong. They are invincible. I've never coached quite a group. I was most proud of them during 4 losses. This was going to be easy. They never pouted, and they continue to support each other. And Russell, that's nothing but bullshit. All right, and so that was it. Thank you. So here they are. Quickly. Managers Megan Richards, she's ill today. Kelly, Kelly, I'll look for you. We had 3 late season call-ups: Chelsea Barco, Sarah Katie Hardigan, and Nicole Smith, who helped us win the sectionals. And they're 10th graders. We had 3 other 10th graders. Megan Bayshard, who's regular season 400 batting average. Really fun to watch her. She can run, make some nice catches. L'Oreal Bombardier, who should do some damage in the years ahead. She didn't really get the playing time she probably deserved, but she never complained once. And Daniel Tierney, I would call him Jackie for some unknown reason. Beginning of the season, I wanted to call her a super sub, but that's not correct because she's a starter that just sometimes can get to start. And again, she never complained, and I think sometimes her versatility might have hurt her, or coach wasn't very good or something. Anyway, Danielle had what instrument did we play? Some kind of instrument she was playing, so she had to go over a mountain, I think by a right there. I'm here, if you want me to get grab it back, gets a base hit, ended up being a winning hit. But she was valuable all year. Moving on to the 11th graders. Skip anybody. These 4 big shoes to fill next year as seniors. Jordan will move to center field next year. She's a jackrabbit, very powerful girl. Never liked her mannequin. She's going to have a fine year next year. Rachel, who will continue to be a vacuum at second, short, sorry. These aren't my glasses. Rachel's not all gloves. She batted over 400 this year and was named to Division I All-Stars. Alex Sporey, outstanding at second. She made outstanding plays in nearly every game. If they awarded gold gloves, she certainly would have received one. And, let's not forget Jaylene Rabideau with a 15-4 record with a puny ERA. She also batted 400 and was named Division I All-Star. Okay, seniors. Chip worked very hard to become a better catcher. receive the MVP again. Tiffany worked very hard to become a better catcher. Her hitting improved 150 points. For that, and just because she's great, I gave her the most improved player. Last year, I told her she was a great hitter and had her batting second. She didn't get hits, and somehow she ended up batting ninth. This year, even though she was hitting the ball, she said, no, I'm comfortable night, and that was nice of her to do that way. Kelly Bowler was called up as an 8th grader. She's a true gamer. She often has the biggest hits against the best pitchers in the league. Sometimes in practice, I wouldn't appreciate her as much, but when it comes to the game, she's a monster, you know. And she had to put up with me in 6th grade, too. And last but not least, Courtney Correa made about 7 or 8 outstanding plays this year. She hit only 380, and she was an all-star again, Division I. Okay. All right, this is the end. I'm going to say, often at the end of practice, the girls sort of made them say goodbye to me. And I'd say something that my father used to say and thought was kind of funny. It was kind of a dry sense of humor. He would say, and I would say it as a joke, but tonight I'm going to say it, and I'm going to mean it, especially seniors. I miss you already. best for last. Darby Turner, my favorite. She saved at least one game each year by picking up low throws at first. An unbelievable first baseman with a smile bigger than the state of Rhode Island. And I love it. All right.
I have a special presentation to make tonight. Mr. Clinton is honored to have the first recipient of the Sean P. McCullough Memorial Scholarship Fund at the Adirondack Community Trust. The fund is named after Sean, a Plattsburgh High School senior who died tragically on May 14, 2005. Sean was a gifted student, talented leader, and dedicated athlete. He cared deeply about his friends and his family. The $1,000 scholarship is awarded to a graduating senior from Clinton or Essex County that is a member of the school's track team who embodies school spirit and shows strong leadership, demonstrates a dedication to the sport and the team, regardless of the team's success, and has a strong academic and competitive spirit. Ann Lynch, the team's track coach, nominated the recipient and said the following: "She is a hard-working, intelligent, athletic, well-rounded, level-headed leader. She sets goals and attains them while staying a pleasant, friendly young lady." This year's recipient is Christy Knapp. Congratulations, Christy. We have the girls' track and field team down. Right around this way, ladies. Jessica Bayshard. Christy Knapp. Carrie Pieper. Jenna Burley. Vanessa Di Natale. Audrey Gillette. Amanda Goodfellow. Casey Ladd. Carissa Manette. Brittany Bourgeois. Erin Duffy. Sarah Glode. Megan Rainville. Brittany Trahan. Alicia Anderson. Callie Blankenship. Jenna Blondo. Caitlin Bourgeois. Catherine Dici. Emily Duffy. Amanda Forey. Nicole Harvey. Alyssa Hicks. Colleen Honan. Sylvia Horn. Kylie LaFontaine. Erica LaFave. Carrie McGee. Caitlin Moore, Christiana Passano, Tessa Rogers, Sarah Slater, Kirsten Bowmill, Margarita Acero, Alana Cruz, Carly Roush, Manager Emily Aubertine, Scorekeeper Sierra Favreau, Manager Camille Pichet, Manager Alexis Zegras. 27 members of the girls' track and field team qualified for the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Scholar Athlete Team Award, and they are the following. Please take a step forward. Margarita Acero, Jessica Bayshard, Callie Blankenship, Kirsten Bowmill, Caitlin Bourgeois, Jenna Burley, Alana Cruz, Catherine Dici, Vanessa Di Natale, Emily Duffy, Erin Duffy, Amanda Forey, Audrey Gillette, Amanda Goodfellow, Alyssa Hicks, Colleen Honan, Sylvia Horn, Christy Knapp, Casey Ladd, Carissa Manette, Caitlin Moore, Christiana Passano, Carrie Pieper, Megan Rainville, Carly Roush, Sarah Slater, Brittany Trahan. Congratulations, ladies. We welcome our girls' track and field team and coaches and coaches.
See, not only are they beautiful and have great legs from all that running, they're smart too. Okay, I forgot my glasses and several other things, so I'm going to let Ms. Hutchins take over and do the minute.
Best I can, because we know last year got a little emotional. They took over, so it's okay. I'd like to thank Mrs. Gilroy for all her hard work this season, and to thank the parents for their support and help in our 2 home meets this year, and for all the times they come and pick up the girls in the away meets. It takes many hands to run a meet well, and we have helping in the jumping pits, the throwing areas, and the finish line taking times. And because of this, our meets are some of the quickest meets of the season. Our other coaches commented to us many times on how well they were run, and we let them know that we have a lot of support from our parents, and it shows in our meets. We would also like to thank the Cougar Running Club for their new shed out back, which has made practice and meets 100% easier that we don't have to lug all our equipment out from the buildings today. We'd also like to thank Calvin for taking our home meets. As you can see, we have a very large group of girls. We have about 40 girls this year. And however, every day it seemed like Ms. Lynch and I, when we would leave practice, we couldn't believe we had that many because it was such a nice group to work with. Really hardworking, never had any problems. So it made a huge difference with the girls and the type that they were and how well they got along and respected each other and us, and the season went really well. We had 40 girls and 20 of them were freshmen, so we have many years to come and we're very excited about that. Our record was 2 and 5, but this does not indicate how well this group of students ran and how hard they worked. Often in all meets, the athletes competed in 4 events, which is the most they can compete in a meet. We had a very close meet in our season opener with PHS this year, which is one of the top teams. We could not have asked for a more pleasant group to work with such a large team. We had many girls step up and be leaders in their events and help the younger athletes. To express just how we felt about this team, I found a quote from Fred Rogers, and the world according to Mr. Rogers. Important things to remember. I'm proud of you for not just the times you came in 2nd or 3rd or 4th, but what you did was the best you've ever done. And we had many, many PRs this year to prove that. Our team this year, I'd like to go through, we had 3 seniors. Christy Knapp in the 100 hurdles, 400 hurdles, high jump and long jump, who set many records this year, high section record. Say much more because I'll Bayshard, the shot, disc, 400-meter relay. She said both of these young ladies have been with us since they were 7th graders, and it's been a joy to watch them come up through the years. Jess, besides throwing the shot and disc, has always stepped up and run for us. And I don't mean to embarrass, but I have to tell a story that she's come a long way since our modified meets and her shorts falling down in the race. That hasn't happened in a while. Yeah. She's always taken it in good stride and always let us tell the story to the younger athletes about making sure your uniform fits or pins. So, juniors, Jenna Burley, 400, 200, 400-meter relay, 1600-meter relay high jump. She ran a 69.4 in the 400. She's a very hard worker and sets an example. I asked her to move up this year to the 400, even though it was her first year, and she took that challenge and worked very hard. She's looking at me. She really did want to do that. But as I tell her, 400 is one of the toughest races, so that's why she needed to run it. Vanessa Dinatelli, the shot put, is 400-meter relay. She's one of our top scorers and a team leader in these events. Audrey Gillette, the 3200 relay, the 3000, 1500, 800, which I think we found out this year Audrey's going to be a middle distance runner next year. And who we now found out she was running with stress fractures. So that was good. Amanda Goodfell had a great year, 3200 relay, the 1500, and 3000. She started out in the 3,000, which is close to 2 miles, with a 13:24, and at sectional she ran a 12:26.9. Great job, Amanda. Casey Ladd, she battled an injury all year, but she did very well in the 400 and 200. She ran a 67.7 and a 27.9, and we look for great things for next year from her. Carissa Manette, our shot, disc, and 400 relay. She was a scorer all year, and she's a leader. She has a wonderful personality, and even though she didn't like to do that running, she did anyway in that relay. Gretchen Thone, she ran the 3200 relay, the 1500, the 800, and 1600 relay. Our sophomores stepped up also. Brittany Bourgeois, she ran the 100, the 400 relay, the 200, and long jump. She became one of our team leaders in the long jump and really got those girls working, and we were able to send her over and she got them through the drills. She started this year with 11.5 and a half, and she finished at sections with a 13.3 and a half. We look for great things next year from her. Erin Duffy was new, or she actually came back to the sport. She took a year off. 3200 relay, 1500, 800, and triple jump. She was a scorer in many of these events, and she had many strong races, and her triple jump became one of the best in the team. Sierra Fabro, due to an injury, she ended up, she ran the 100, 400, and then she became our scorekeeper and was always very helpful with that. Sarah Globe, new this year, she ran the 100, the 800, and long jump. She improved 5 seconds in her 800 this year, and we look to maybe switch her around in different events next year. Megan Rainville came on strong in the 3200 relay, the 1500, and the 800. She did very well and improved 7 seconds in her 1500, and we look to have great things from her in our middle distance next year. Brittany Trapan, 3200 relay, the 1500, 800, and 1600 relay. She's one of our top scorers and the leading middle distance runner, and we look forward to her next year at 15, now that we know she can go out and run hard all races. However, she almost did miss that race at sectional. Our large freshman group, which is a very pleasant team to work for, and they were very coachable, and they also were very good at listening to the older athletes and taking advice from them, and this would be a nice group to work with over the next 3 years. Callie Blankenship in the shot put, the disc, and 400 relay. She was a scorer in the shot at times, and at times in the disc. Jenna Blondo, the shot and disc. At the beginning of the season, she went through a 52.8 and went through the first meet, and then she ended up with a 62.10 and a half, which is a great improvement for 1 year. We hope to see her back next year. Kirsten Bowmill, the 100, the 400 relay, the shot and the disc. She was scoring the shot, and she went from a 23 to a 25, 10 and a quarter, and placed 8th at sectionals. Kate Bourgeois, shot, the disc, the 400 relay. She threw from a 19 to 22 feet in the shot, and in the disc from a 46.5 to a 59 in the disc. So as you can see, many of these athletes had large improvements throughout the season. Catherine Dici, the 100 hurdles, the 400 hurdles, 1600 meter relay. She worked very hard, and the 400 hurdles was one of the toughest races. She fell one race, and she really didn't want to get back and run those the next few races, but after some convincing, she came back, and she worked really hard, and she had a great race in the 400 hurdles. We look to her to come on strong next year also in the 100 hurdles. Emily Duffy, 100 hurdles, 100, 400 relay, 400 hurdles, and 200. Again, the 400 hurdles are one of the toughest races, and she started the season with a 140 and finished with a 135, and she worked very hard this season. Amanda Forey, she ran the 100, the 400 relay, the 200, and she had a second off in both of those, 100 and 200. And she has one of the best arm forms I've ever seen on a runner, and we use her many times as an example for the other students. Nicole Harvey, 100, 400 relay, and 200. Nicole got in the 14s for the 100, and she was an anchor many times in our relay. Melissa Hicks, 100 hurdles, the 400, the 200, the 1600 relay. She started with the high 20s and ended at a 20 even for the hurdles and a 71 in the open 400. She got stronger as the season went on, and we hope that next year her hurdles will really come on strong. Colleen Honan, 100 hurdles, 400 hurdles, 200 high jump, 1600 relay. She started the season with 17.2 in the hurdles, and at CVHC she ran a 16.3, almost a second off in the hurdles, which is amazing. She placed 4th at the CVHCs in that race, and the only people ahead of her were Christy, who's now going to States, and so we hope Colleen will be able to fill those big shoes. And Hannah Nash, as you know, she's going to States, and the other hurdler from EPNW is also going to States. So she has a bright future in those. And in the 400 hurdles, she also placed 3rd at CBAC against those two young ladies who broke section records. So we look for great things from Colleen in those hurdles next year. Sylvia Horn, quite often called Tessa, who also tried to teach me a new language this year, but I said, with all these names, I have a hard time remembering. I better stick to just that. She ran the 400, the 200, the long jump, and triple jump. She started with 25 for the triple and ended up in the high 26s. She is a very pleasant girl. She's always upbeat, and she's a joy to have on the team, and we hope to see her back next year. Kylie LaFontaine, the 100 hurdles, the 400 relay, the 200 and high jump. She started in the 21 for the hurdles, and she finished in the 20s, which is the second. And in the high jump, we look for her to have great form next year. She's got the form that she just needs a little pop, so we'll look for that next year. Erica Lefebvre in the 100 and 400 relay. She filled into the relay and did a great job, and her 100 came down to 15s in the 15s. Carrie McGee, 100, 400 relay, 800 triple jump. Carrie's willing to try everything. She also tried the 400 hurdles. She ran a 3:31 to start, and she finished the season with 3:19 in 1 meet. And she was coming on very strong in the triple jump. Caitlin Moore, the 100, the shot, and the disc. For a long time, I could not remember her name, but she was very patient with me. She started the disc with a 41, and she finished with 44 feet in 1 meet. Christiana Passano, 100 and 400 relay, and the disc. She had an injury, and so we hope that next year to see her also in the shot. But she started with the disc with a 54, 3.5, and finished with a 60 feet. Tessa Rogers, the 100, the 400 relay, the 200 and high jump. Tessa made it to sectionals in the high jump, and she cleared 4th feet. She also started at 33.5 in the 200 and finished in 32. She is very pleasant and always upbeat. Sarah Slater, the 100 hurdles, 400 relay, long jump, triple jump. She's a strong jumper, and also she started in the high 25s and finished in the high 25s for the triple and 13s in the long jump. We look for her to fill those shoes for the long jump next year. For Christy did have. 8th grade, Margarita Acero, 3200 relay, 800, 1600 relay, and triple jump. She started the 800 this year with a 304, and at sectional she ran a 247.7. She looked great, and we said she was holding back all year. So we'll expect big things from her next year in the middle distance. 7th grader Alana Cruz, 3200 relay, 3000, and triple jump. 3000 is a hard race to ask anyone to run, but as a 7th grader, she stepped up. She began the season with a 13:31, and her last meet at sectionals was a 13:19. She ran a super race, and she's a very hard worker. Carly Roush is also a 7th grader. She ran the 100, the 400 relay on the scoring team, the 200, and the long jump. She started in low 14. She jumped in the 14. She participated in sectionals, and she took part of that 400 scoring relay team. She ran in the 32s for the 200, and she finished out the season in 31 seconds. Our managers, Emily Albertine, she was wonderful with the paperwork, and unfortunately, she started out as one of our competitors, but she had an injury. But we were very glad to have her as helping out with the paperwork. As you can see, there's a lot with the team this size. Camille Boucher and Alexis Agris, our younger 7th graders, they were also wonderful managers, helped keep those uniforms organized during the track. We hope that everybody has a great summer. Keep running. Hope to see them all next year. We would also like to have special thanks to recognize a parent who also became a volunteer coach for the team, Mr. Holman. Come down. He came to all our many of our practices and all the meets. He was a tremendous help this year with the team on their starting blocks and relay handoffs. There was a big difference in our team in both these areas this year. We had some of the nicest relay handoffs. He was a big help, and if you could come up, we'd like to present you. That's thought it was great, though, that he could now get in free to some of the meets. Our first awards are most improved track award. This person ran the 32 relay, the 1500, the 800, and was part of the 1600 relay. She's one of our top scorers from the team. She started the season with a 253 in the open 800, and at sectionals she ran a 247, but she almost missed the race. As I'm standing on one side of the track trying to flag her down, and usually I'm pretty good at yelling, talking away, and the other team coach from Thai had to yell out, she comes running over. She's like, I didn't even know I had to run over here. So she ran very, very well. She ended with a 247, so it's almost 10 seconds off the time. She began the 1500 with a 603, and at sectionals she ran a 526.8. She's a very hard worker, and we expect big things from her next year. Brittany Craig. Our most improved field event, this athlete decided to try the triple jump. She's the top scorer and started out with a 26.10 and finished with 29.25 and jumped 28 2.5 feet at sectionals. She is a hard worker and a joy to have on the team. Erin Duffy. Our most valuable field person, this athlete throws the shot and disc and is our top scorer in these events. She started the season in the shot with a 20 feet 3 inches and placed 7th at sectionals with 26 feet and a quarter inches. And in the disc she began with 63 feet and 7 inches and placed 7th at sectionals with a throw of 76 feet 2 inches. Our last meet, one of our last meets, Lake Placid, she threw a 77 feet 2 inches. A great athlete and a great person, Vanessa Dinatelli. Our most valuable track athlete. Since the 7th grade.
Tim, will you read it for her?
She was our 100 hurdler, 400 hurdler, long jumper, and high jumper. She was our top scorer and team leader. She finished 6th in the 400 hurdles at sectionals, 3rd in the hurdles, 5th in the long jump. She went to state qualifiers and had a personal best, just not far off the school record in the long jump with a jump of 15:10 and a quarter to place 2nd. In one of the most exciting races I've ever seen, she tied the section record and new school record with a 15:8 and 100 hurdles to place 1st. She's going to the state meet this Friday. She was also the recipient of the Champlain Award. Don't miss her next year, Christina.
I'd just like to say one more time that it's great to have all the support we have from the parents. Parents of seniors, make sure you come back next year. And this team, with such a large team, we cannot say enough about how pleasant and hardworking this team is. Great job this season.
I'd just like to start by thanking Calvin for taking our events, our amazing managers, our parents for always being there for us, and all my teammates for making it such a memorable season. But most of all, I'd like to thank my 2 wonderful coaches who have helped me to accomplish all that I have over the last 6 years. This year was a different year. We got to run on many new tracks, and we only had 2 home meets. I'd just like to thank everyone who helped run our meets. We really appreciate it, being done before 7 o'clock. I'm glad to see many new faces this year. I won't lie, it was odd having a team of more than like 15 girls. But I'm glad that so many of you are interested in track, and I hope that you'll continue to run. I had a lot of fun this year, and I made a lot of new memories. And now, thanks to serving someone, I tend to talk with my hands sometimes. And I still want to know what I was supposed to do if the lights went out while I was running.
I need to thank my parents because they gave birth to me and fed me. I need to thank our manager, Earl, knowing we know what events they're supposed to be in, and our coaches for telling us how to do those events that we're supposed to be in, and my teammates because they're all incredible. And I need to thank the track and field team itself for giving me a chance to be an athlete because I'm not what people might call the fastest or the strongest, and I don't have coordination. But track doesn't cut anyone. They let everyone try, and that's why I'm still here. But once you get the track, you learn. It's like, remember to pin your shorts to your shirt. And don't drink milk before practice. It's a bad idea. And you learn a lot about dedication because you'll be on the team, but once you're there, you have to do plyos. And everyone thinks they look ridiculous, and it's because they do look ridiculous. And you have to run in the rain in meets wearing nothing but a tank top and itty-bitty little shorts with built-in underwear, and it is one of the most horrible things in the world. And you have to run wearing long pants when it's hot, and the boys point at you and go, "Ha ha, I'm wearing shorts." We laugh back when it gets 40 degrees colder the next day and we have long pants, and we go, "Ha ha, you're wearing shorts." And you learn a lot about dedication, and I must have learned a lot about it in 7th grade because I came back for 5 more years. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for coming.